Hello everyone and welcome to my tutorial on a PG Play machine, Sunset Midnight. So without further ado, I'm just doing a basic scan. So I've got the IP address with Nmap. As you will see, it returns only a few ports, so hopefully it's not going to take too much time. For some reason it takes ages, so we're not going to scan all the ports. As I said, really and truly, only a few ports are open, so I think it makes more sense. Yeah, it came back quite quickly. So we've got only 3 ports open. We can enumerate all of them very quickly. 22, 80, and surprisingly, MySQL port is open, which is quite rare. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot the aggressive scan. Yeah, so in the meantime, because port 80 is open, what we could do, we just copy the IP address and we can just quickly look at the website. Oh yes, the burp suite, we need to turn it off. Now as you see, it redirected us to Sunset-Midnight, but because it's not in a host file, so we have to correct it, and this one returned the result. So what we could do is just simply echo the IP address, Sunset-Midnight, like this, and then we add it to the etc host file. So now it should be okay. It's working and it's very clear that it's a WordPress site. We can also look at Webalizer, WordPress 5.4.2. I think that's the main thing. Obviously it's Linux, so we know it's Debian, PHP, Apache. Nothing surprising about that. Now, when we look at the detailed scan, straight away what we can see is the MySQL is something that is worth exploring, sorry. And also the robots.txt revealed one disallowed entry, WP admin, which is the login page for WordPress. You see it's even telling us did not flow redirect to this one, so we solved this problem already. And that's it really. So at this point, what we can do, which is a logical step, is to scan this with WP scan, so the WordPress scan. I think it's there already. We don't need to enumerate all of this. We just use the default options. As you can see, there's nothing special really. Everything is nice and green, informational as well. I tried to brute force the admin, WP admin. I didn't yield any results, so we can see just normal login site. So at this point, what we could do is to brute force MySQL. Like I said, I think in real life it's extremely rare. Root. Yeah, I think it's here already. I just need the IP address 20188. Okay. So what we do here is we specify root as the user, because that's normally the user for the MySQL login, and the thread we put 16 just to make it a bit faster, but as you can see the result came back extremely fast, so root and Robert, excellent. And normally we could have like a PHP myadmin login, but unfortunately, as you can see, yeah, it doesn't exist. Anyway, we could log in there, but just to make our life more difficult, and I guess they want us to practice this, we do the CLI, so the command line interface. And yes, we have to skip SSL. Okay, so that I'm gonna show it to you. So if you, it's 201, isn't it? Yeah, so specify the host, user root, and right after the password, the P, you put Robert, so you don't have the space. And you see, it says SSL is required, but the server does not support it. So to really get around this, we just say skip SSL, and that was it. Now the first thing we do is we enumerate the databases. So I would say show databases, and don't forget the semicolon. So nothing special, just the usual ones. So obviously we are interested in the WordPress DB. So what we do is use WordPress underscore DB. Oh, sorry, I forgot the. Yeah, this database changed. And now we show tables. And what we are interested in is the WP users. So I would say select everything, so the star from WP users. And as you can see, we've got user login is the admin, and the user pass is this one. Now this one is, I'll show you, this is a MySQL password. So if you copy, and let's say, I think we need sudo privileges for this one. So what we do is echo, yeah, so we save it for mysql.hash, for example. And if you see hash ID, oh sorry, yeah, it says WordPress Joomla OPH pass. Now if you try to crack it, you could do it with hashcat, but I couldn't, so it would take ages. Probably it's a very complicated password. So the easiest way in this case is to change the password. So if you come back here, so instead of cracking this, what we could do is we say is update this one, so the WP users, and set the user pass MD5 so user pass equals MD5, and in the brackets let's say just a simple one, admin. Yeah, so we specify MD5 because that's the easiest hash, and it's acceptable for MariaDB. So we don't want to make it too complicated with this MySQL hash type. So we specify that one, where, and then you say user login equals admin. Oh yeah, and I forgot again yeah, something is wrong with the syntax. Yeah, I got the error, so WP users, I didn't use a dash. I think that was the only mistake. Yeah, so it should be okay. And now it's changed, so it's brilliant. So what we do is we just simply exit this, and then we go back and just log in with admin. Excellent. So we just remind me later, whatever. Now to achieve an exploitation, I mean a reverse shell, because we know that this is Apache, as we talked about this PHP, so it's very simple. What we do, takes ages to log in, I don't know why. We locate the PHP reverse shell, which is usually found in the web shells, user share. So all we have to do is just copy here. We could change it there or here, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to change it there, so we just copy it. Nah, okay, didn't work out. Right, okay, so we are in. So the easiest way to do is if you go to the appearance, theme editor, and 2017 is quite old, so just look for the latest one, 2020, select. And the easiest is to go to the 404 template because it's kind of more subtle. It's not really something that people monitor all the time. It's not really visible. So we just paste it here and we just change the IP and the port. I mean, I would say the port, I don't know, it could be anything. I would just put it 80 because this is what the system knows already. So again, it's not that suspicious. And then we look at our IP address. Is this one? The tunnel 0. And then we just paste it. Okay, yeah, update file is successful. Now, as we have discussed already, it's never a good idea to do it in the browser, although you could do it. So curl and burp suite is better. So what we could do is simply, okay, so just a bit, hopefully it's gonna come up. Yeah. Right, so it's sunset midnight, a WP content, this is where the themes are in WordPress, and a 2020 theme and a 404 PHP. But before we press enter, we need to set up a listener. So I like to use this RL rep. It's a bit more stable, better shell, like you can easily navigate. So come back here, press enter, and there you go, we are in. Excellent. Now what I usually like to do is just to check if you got Python 3. Excellent. So we just use Python 3 command, so C, and then we use the import pty spawn bin bash. That's it. So we are in. We are www data, which is great. Now what we can do straight away, obviously the usual stuff. You might want to do uname A, so you find out, okay, Linux kernel version. We know it's a Debian. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so there's no Buster version 9010. But what we are interested in here is find SUID. So permission, so U equals S, and type fine, and then just the usual thing. Dev no. Oh, sorry, bull. Right, so when you do that, straight away the status stands out because it's not the usual SUID. So just see what it is. Now, what we can see straight away is basically the SSH service, and the status is active and it's enabled, which is good. I mean, nothing surprising because we know that there is SSH running on this. 22, yeah. So if you look at it this way as well, yeah, it's just normal ELF 64-bit executable file. Now, what we can see straight away is exactly the same. So we could actually use strings as well, and then just to see what it does. So that's one option to do. But service SSH status, so status of the SSH server, but it's kind of common sense, we saw that one. But also what you could do is you could use systemctl, status ssh.service, and as you can see it's exactly the same, so it's pretty much, that's the one, yeah. So what we can do to exploit it is, we know that path we have is this one. So what we could do is add our path, let's say TMP, and then we just put our reverse shell or something similar. So to do that, we do export. I always confuse this one. So it's path, and then I think it's like this, TMP. Yeah, that's correct. So if you go back now, you got the TMP at the front, which is great. So what we could do is we echo, let's say, I don't know, binsh p. That's the easiest one really. And we add it to TMP. We call it service because it's looking for a service. And then chmod. Okay, I don't know why it took so much time. And I think pretty much that's it really. Now what we could do is we just simply execute the user bean status, and there you go, we are root. Now as a post exploitation kind of phase, I always like to check the shadow file. So I try to crack this password for Jose or Jose, but yeah, you can't. Funnily enough, the local.txt was there actually, I forgot to tell you about that. So if you come here, this is your local txt file, which can be read by anyone, so even by the www data, and obviously the root. I think it's called a proof, isn't it? Yeah, so that one is there. I'm sure that there would be probably maybe some kind of kernel exploit for this one as well, but what's the point of getting it more complicated than it is? If you've got an easier and more simple solution, then why not use that one? So I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and please subscribe to my channel or leave a feedback. Let me know what you think, and all the best and happy learning, and see you next time.